I've already done a video explaining why many people in the know believe that silver is the investment opportunity of your lifetime. In this video, I want to go into details on where you can get silver and what you can buy. But first, a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I share here should be construed as financial advice. My goal is to show you some options and to help you analyze for yourself some of the pros and cons in these options and make your own decisions. First, let's talk about where you can buy silver. So there are basically 5 different choices. Number 1 is a local coin shop or local precious metals dealer. Number 2 is various online metals dealers such as JM Bullion, Money Metals, Golden State Mint, Ampex, and many others. Number 3 is various online sites that are not metals dealers, such as Amazon or eBay. Number 4 is metals dealers, which are unique in that they do network marketing or multi-level marketing and offer you the opportunity to go into business selling silver as well as buying it. And number 5 are companies that do retirement account rollovers into precious metals. Now let's talk about pros and cons of each of these. So for the local coin shop, the first advantage is you are supporting local and small business. The second advantage is you have an opportunity to develop a personal relationship with the seller, such as they may give you better deals. They may set aside products for you instead of selling them to first come, first serve. When you buy locally, there are no shipping fees and you don't have to worry about shipping issues such as things getting lost in the mail. You have it in your hand immediately when you buy it. As well, you can have a silver tester using an analyzer to make sure it is pure 99.9% silver, or you can make sure it's 90% silver in case you're buying that type. And it is possible to buy 90% silver, or also called junk silver, which is old silver currency, at your local coin shop. Some of the disadvantages of buying from local coin shops are there may be little diversity in available products. They may not accept credit cards. Often they want cash payments or checks only. And you'll have to figure out your own secure storage, as they will not have depositories or private vaults available for your use. Now let's look at the pros and cons of online metals dealers such as JM Bullion, Golden State Mint. First of all, you're going to find a much wider selection of available products. You're going to see some attractive, beautiful items with limited minting that could be considered collectibles. You're going to find the possibility of lower prices because you're dealing with larger companies. They will accept credit cards. And many of these online bullion dealers have physical locations where they offer depositories or private vaults that you can store your metals in. Now let's look at some of the disadvantages of the online metals dealers. First of all, you're going to have shipping costs. First of all, you may have shipping costs, although they will waive these if your order is over a certain amount. And you will have shipping risks, which is the possibility that your package is lost somewhere in transit. You will not be able to get your products tested with an analyzer in front of you in the way you can do in a local coin shop. So you don't know for sure that you're buying real silver. However, the larger companies are reputable dealers, and if you have any issue with what you've bought, you could contact them and it would be likely that they would guarantee their product. When you're dealing with larger companies, these may be cabal-owned companies. And the final disadvantage is you do not have the ability to develop a personal relationship with the seller as you do with a small local business. There are also various online sites where you can buy silver that are not metals dealers, such as Amazon or eBay. There is virtually no advantage to buying from these, so I don't recommend it. First of all, and there are 2 disadvantages. One is there may not be any guarantees available if what you buy turns out to be fake silver. And second, they are not likely to have a large number of items available, meaning you're pretty much buying one at a time, which is not an effective way to do an investment. Another place to buy your metals are from metals dealers doing network marketing or multi-level marketing. I only know one such company, which is 7K Metals. There may be others. Some of the advantages are that they offer services beyond just the purchase of silver products. They offer consulting and educational information. They offer the use of a sound money wallet where you can move your metals into cash and back and forth at any time. They offer the opportunity to buy fractional silver, meaning you could just spend $5 and buy a fraction of silver. They offer membership and a sense of community. They offer an opportunity for you to build a business selling silver to others and making a profit that way. They offer secure storage in private vaults. However, many of their products are not able to be stored in private vaults. Some of the disadvantages to using the metal dealers that do multi-level marketing are there's a membership fee, which is in the range of $200 to $500 a year. Now, you don't have to pay this just to buy their products, but you do have to pay a membership fee to use their other services. Number two is their emphasis is on collectibles, not on bullion purchases, and I will go into this a little more in a bit. Number three is their community culture emphasizes collectibles. Number four is collectibles are significantly more expensive and thus reduce the possible returns on your investment. Number five is you need to manage your assets online, moving things between your metals and your sound money wallet, logging into your account, etc. Number six is there are fees associated with transferring your money to banks. Number seven is that mixing marketing opportunities in with investment can be off-putting or confusing. And the last thing to mention is that by pushing the idea of network marketing, there is a perhaps unintended message being sent that it is not enough just to invest in silver. You also need to create a business out of selling it in order to have enough profit. And I'm going to explain why this is not necessarily the best message to be sending out. Finally, you can use a company that specializes in rolling over your entire retirement account into precious metals. Goldco is one such company. There may be others. So you can roll over your 401k or your IRA account into precious metals. Some of the advantages are that it's a relatively straightforward way to move your retirement account into what may be a safer investment opportunity given what we're seeing about the coming financial collapse, the stock market crash, and the crash of the fiat currency system. Number two advantage is that depositories and private vaults are readily available. Some of the disadvantages. I may not be correct about this, but I don't think you can take physical possession of the metals that you buy without incurring the penalty involved in cashing out a retirement account. You can take physical possession, but not without this penalty, is my understanding. But I might be wrong, so look into that. A second disadvantage is if you do not take physical possession of your metals, how do you know they are really there? In other words, how do you know they're not selling the same silver to 100 or 500 or 1,000 different people? And a final disadvantage is that with Goldco, and I don't know about other companies, but I've heard this about Goldco, and I may be wrong, so look into this yourself. They pressure people to spend their money on premium products like premium silver eagles, which are more expensive. Now that we've discussed where you can buy your silver, let's talk about what you can buy. There are basically 4 different kinds of silver that you can buy. Junk silver is old silver currency, which is 90% silver, such as silver dimes that were minted before 1964. The second category is silver bullion. This is all kinds of silver, designs, shapes, and weights from 1/10 of an ounce, 1/2 an ounce, 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce, 100 ounce, and 1 kilo. There are many designs to choose from very plain to quite beautiful, in many types of themes and subject matter, all 99.9% silver. The third category is collectibles. These are special designs. They're extra fancy, and they're usually made in a limited number, limited minting. They're all 99.9% silver. They are usually quite a bit more expensive than bullion, at least twice as much, and up to 10 times as much or even more.
Each coin release will hold a genuine piece of the glass involved in the making of the oblong windows, and will be identically shaped on 1 ounce of fine silver, with a very limited production run of each. Admire the colour, scenery, and muse up close on this first edition. Be remarkable.
And the last category is silver currency, which is also 99.9% silver. And these are different actual currency minted by the governments of different nations, such as silver eagles made by the U.S. Mint, Canadian maple leaves made by the Canadian Mint, South African Krugerrands made by the South African government. There are similar ones for many other nations. Now, as we consider what to buy, it will help you to keep in mind some investment principles. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own thoughts. You can take them or leave them as seems useful to you. But it seems reasonable to me that if your goal is investment and making a profit through investment, then you would naturally want to make the most profit per dollar of investment. The second principle is don't overfocus on small present-day price fluctuations. I see a lot of people who get all excited when the price of silver goes up 50 cents, or it goes down $1, or it goes up 80 cents. None of this is going to be relevant when the price of silver is at $500 or $600 an ounce. At that point, it will not matter whether you bought silver at $20 an ounce or $25 an ounce. So look at the big picture and don't get over-focused on the small details. You need to realize that silver investment is not about buying pretty things that you're going to keep on it in a display case, right? Because your goal is profit. So you're not just going to buy stuff that you're going to keep in display or show to your friends. You want to buy things that you're going to sell later on. And finally, number 4, all the greatest investment strategies are useless if your investment is stolen from you. So having some plans for secure storage is very important. You need to think about, are you using depositories or private vaults that are reputable, and are they safe? And if you're not using those, what methods are you using, and are they safe and reliable? So now, if we look at these basic investment principles, which are only my suggestions, the basic idea is you want to get as much return for your money as possible, which means you probably want to buy the silver that costs the least amount per ounce while still being 99% silver. Because remember, your profit will be in relation to how many ounces you have. So now let's try to distill everything that I've said so far and look at some details on a hypothetical plan for retirement. You may be asking, how much silver do I need in order to be able to retire? Well, it depends on how high the price of silver eventually goes, and no one knows for sure. It is predicted that the price of silver will go up to at least $300 an ounce and perhaps as high as $10,000 or more per ounce. So obviously the amount of silver that you need in order to retire depends on what the ultimate high point is in silver's value per ounce. Okay, now I want to circle around and come back and talk about 7K metals. First of all, like I said, they're about the only company I know that offers network marketing so that you can not only invest in silver, but start selling it. And I just want to point out that if indeed silver is going to skyrocket in value, then you don't need to do more than invest. You don't need to start a new business selling. And in fact, selling is mostly beneficial if the price of silver is not going to skyrocket, because you can make money both coming and going, whether the price drops or increases. If the price of silver skyrockets, you can retire. You don't need a business. So that's the first thing to mention. The second is, as far as collectibles, 7K The culture at 7K seems to emphasize collectibles from what I can tell, and I am involved in a chat group of people that are in 7K metals. And collectibles is a totally different area from just investing in silver. It is a specialized area, and unless you've done your research and really understand what you're getting into, it may not be good for you to put a lot of energy into that area. And I'm just going to give a little short, quick example for you to think about as you ponder this question of what kind of silver should I buy. So let's compare two kinds of investments. It's a small investment of just $350. On the one hand, you could buy a 2-ounce collectible, such as the kind that are offered by 7K Metals, for $350. On the other hand, you can use that same $350 to instead buy 14 1-ounce silver rounds, which cost $25 each. Now, suppose the price of silver goes up to $5,000 an ounce. It may not do that, but let's just suppose hypothetically it does. Now what do you have with the two options? So your first option, where you invested in the 2-ounce collectible, you now have 2 times 5,000 equals $10,000 worth of silver, plus whatever the collectible value is, which is unknown. The second option, you have 14 ounces of silver bullion, so you have a total of 14 times 5,000 equals $70,000 worth of silver. Now ask yourself whether that collectible you bought really might have $60,000 of value just from being a collectible. Do you think that's very likely? If not, you've begun to understand why collectibles may not be the best place to put most of your energy. They certainly may be fun and enjoyable to put some of your energy, but consider these questions and everything else I've said, and hopefully some of this has been of use to you. And remember, I am not a financial advisor, and nothing I am saying here should be construed as financial advice.